as I can take you, I'm afraid. You can catch a monopod into the city from over there.
Where are you going?
Straight to cargo. Gotta get these babies
Quarantined?
distributed.
Thanks for the ride, Wendell. Maybe see you again.
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Outdated U-chip firmware detected. Firmware must be updated to use Union City facilities.
I was about to return to give Ember a piece of my mind when...
Transporting you to the nearest safety services.
The stalkers had come into the city. But looking around, that didn't make any sense. This place was a paradise compared to the Union City I'd left all those years ago. Joey had certainly turned the place around. I had to find the stalkers. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. I just had to sort out my U-chip problems first. Hello?
Good morning, Graham, Grundy. I trust you are well on this fine day.
Actually,
Aha! Have you tried Dijon buttercream spankles? It's new.
sounds delightful.
That's the spirit. Now, Mr. Grundy, we both know why you're here, don't we?
I guess we do.
Your firmware. It's ridiculously out of date.
Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Go on, place your hand on the platform.
Okay, here goes.
Well, that's very strange.
What's very strange?
What's very strange?
You said that's very strange a moment ago. Something about my data.
I didn't. You said, what's very strange?
I only said it because you said that's very strange.
Great. What else can I do for you, Citizen Graham?
There was something strange about the ID that I had acquired. While she may have lost the plot, I definitely hadn't. So is my firmware all up to date?
It sure is, Citizen Graham.
Now you can get back to being a top-notch citizen again. I see you have 2 weeks of public voting to catch up on. Better find a terminal and hop to it.
Thank you.
Was I helpful?
Yes.
Would you like to fill out a survey?
Absolutely not.
Okay then. Keep a smile on your face, Graham.
Now that I'd dealt with my U-chip problem, I needed to find out more about my new identity, Graham Grundy. I'd never tell him, but Joey's statue looked magnificent. I was enjoying my time in the piazza, but I doubted I'd learn much about Graham here.
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Where would you like to go?
I knew Graham had some sort of connection to Milo's kidnapping. His home would be my best, in fact, my only lead. Take me to Graham... my home.
Lakeview Apartments. Certainly, Citizen Graham.
The city knew a lot more about Graham than I did. As I arrived, masquerading as a dead man called Graham, I was apprehensive about what I would find. But I had no choice. I had to find the stalker. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. The seal on the floor showed my buddy Joey just as I remembered him, when I left him in charge all those years ago.
Hey, buddy, watch where you're standing.
What's your problem?
Your face, for one.
Excuse me.
Well, if you hadn't been staring at the floor like a moron, you'd have seen me.
I didn't catch your name.
I'm your mama.
What? Do you live here?
Do I look like I live here?
I'm not from around here. Maybe everyone here looks like you.
Yeah, and what do I look like?
Trouble.
Keep walking.
Do you know where I can find Joey?
Oh, I don't know, weirdo. They say he walked into the gap, or sailed across the sea. Either way, he abandoned us all in this place.
You don't like it here?
Needs more color, wouldn't you agree?
Do you know a guy called Graham Grundy?
Nope, sounds like a moron.
In that case, let me introduce myself. Graham Grundy.
Doesn't surprise me.
What happened after Joey left?
Well, duh. Council runs the city now.
I'll leave you to... whatever it was you were doing.
Aw, really? I'll miss you.
Yes, I'm... very busy.
Hey, dirtbag! What's your favorite color?
Huh?
You heard me. What's your favorite color?
Blue?
Lame.
But you're wearing... Never mind.
Later, man purse.
Later, backpack.
Ha! You got nothing.
Clearly not everyone in Union City was quite as courteous as they were happy. It was another image of Joey, just as I remembered him. Clearly, he'd made his mark.
Commencing spray.
Wait, I know that U-chip. Oh my, Is it really? Yes, it is. Master Graham, you have returned. How wonderful.
Oh, good day, huh?
I shall inform Madam and her guest that you have arrived. She will be so pleased.
No, that won't be necessary.
She will be overjoyed that you have finally returned to the bosom of the family. My apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham.
What about him, Chipworth?
It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
He has, but that's wonderful! Oh, thank Joey! My dear husband is back!
Ah, I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy. Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records? I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
I'll stall him. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me. I wasn't sure what I'd walked into. But if I was to convince anyone I was Graham, I needed to find out more about him. His job, his family, his state of mind. The mentor could ask me about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over the place. All I had to do was look around. Juice and wine.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations. It has been noted that your height has increased. Adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know. That's all for now.
Due to the alteration of your physical parameters, a new uniform has been ordered and will arrive at your home shortly. Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had made some headway, but I still needed to know about Graham's work and social standing. A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough. If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here
Alonso?
monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy,
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Ah, here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
B.
Yes, well, you'll be back up there in no time. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
The land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra City Commerce. Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively? Please.
My breast implants. I changed my mind. They kept getting in the way of my mop.
Your what?
He means your heart regulator, dear.
Oh, yes, of course. Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Possibly. It's as plausible as everything else you've told me today. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. Now, it's clear to me that your recent concussion has had some deleterious effects on your memory. You need some time to recuperate.
Of course, mentor. I shall see to it that he gets the care he needs.
Oh, I have no doubt that you will. And to support you in this, I converted some of your kudos to grant you both some time off work.
Our kudos? Wait, how much?
Oh, nothing too severe. Just enough to give you some time to reflect. You may notice a slight dip in your social tier, however.
But the Aspiration Day Gala... tonight.
Yes, won't it be something? I am so looking forward to it. Anyway, keep a smile on your face.
You too?
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
What in the name of Joey do you call that sorry performance?
Maybe I could have tried harder.
Look, Buster. Everything was fine until you turned up. I'd dragged my kudos all the way up to Class B for that gala. I don't want time off. I want my gala tickets. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish before Alonso's analysis comes back. Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.
Dear me, a terrible situation. Very troubling indeed.
Mentor, given your experience, your input here would be greatly appreciated.
Orana, isn't it? You strike me as a fine young officer of the Ministry of Well-Being. Would you say that's an accurate description?
I'm flattered, sir.
Your record is exemplary, I believe.
I do my best, sir.
I'm sure you do. So please, don't let me down. Fix this mess.
Mess? You mean the girl?
The whole untidy situation.
Yes, sir.
Atta girl. Keep a smile on your face. After all, it's Aspiration Day, isn't it? The happiest day of the year.
I'll take care of it, sir.
I know you will. By the way, a call to pest control wouldn't go amiss.
Of course, sir.
Meanwhile, I shall isolate this area until this unfortunate incident has been resolved.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your advice.
We're all here to learn from each other. Take care now.
Miss! Pardon me, miss! Who, me? Hey! You can see forever up here! You know, be free!
Miss, you have to be careful.
Careful or careless? I know which one I want to be!
Why don't you come down, yes? Miss Dijon, is that right? Raquel Dijon.
Yeah! That's... me. I think...
Raquel,
Raquel? Did you say Raquel?
you need to come down.
What? Where am I? Oh no! Help! Help!
Hearing her name had triggered a total change in the girl's behavior. I needed to find a way to get her down before she fell.
Please stand back.
Raquel!
Help! Please!
Can you see any way down from there?
No! And everything's wet now thanks to that robot.
Think you can get on the robot when it passes?
I could try. But what if...
We'll catch you. You can do it.
I rather doubt she can.
Can't you try and be more encouraging?
You have a reasonably good eye for aesthetics.
Thank you?
Now, grab on tight. We'll be right underneath you.
You'll be fine.
Human grip strength is famously reliable. Only in short bursts.
Okay, here goes.
Commencing down. Commencing down.
How do you feel, Raquel? Are you okay?
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that's all sorted. Shall I call a pod for her?
I've got it from here, thank you. Raquel, what were you even doing up there?
I don't know. I don't really remember anything.
The girl looked glad to be back on solid ground. Excuse me?
Mr. Grundy. Oh, Mr. Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Bravo, Mr. Grundy. Your actions in this situation were sublime, albeit unconventional. The local noise levels have already returned to normal, and the building will soon sparkle again.
I'm more concerned about the girl. Is she gonna be okay?
Yes, blah blah blah, and all that. Officer, wouldn't you say that Mr. Grundy's actions today warrant a kudos boost,
Of course. Thank you for the suggestion.
Tarquin, miss.
Orana. Orana Newblood.
Yeah, like the guy said. Graham Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Raquel. Is she always like that?
What do you mean?
Well, I met her earlier, and she seemed like a totally different person.
She's been through a big ordeal. Nothing that a trip to the reflection spa won't sort out.
What is the reflection spa?
What is the... Are you feeling okay, Graham? Everyone this side of the industrial level has heard of reflections.
Oh, you mean that reflection spa. It's been a long day.
Next, you'll be asking me to tell you about this Joey guy.
No, I'm familiar. So, do you work here?
I'm an officer for the Ministry of Well-Being.
You often have to talk girls off high ledges?
My first one.
You did a good job.
Yeah, well, thanks for your help.
I suppose I should thank you too.
No problem. You take care.
You too, Mr. Grundy. If you need any well-being support, just ask for me at Agrita Terminal. Orana Newblood. Come on, Raquel. Let's get you to the spa. You'll be feeling better in no time. No need to worry, Raquel. You're safe now. Happy faces all round, right? In fact, this calls for a celebration. It is Aspiration Day after all.
Oh, goodness. Is it?
All day. And you know what would be the best end to a day like this? A trip to the reflection spa. I'll pull a string or two, and we'll get you straight to the front of the line.
In Union City, even the teddy bears had screens. This one was broken. Jasmine. Songbird, I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Oh, terrific. As long as you're sorry. But tell me, what exactly are you sorry for? Turning up here? Pretending to be my husband? Or maybe you're sorry for making such a mess of it. All that kudos straight down the drain.
But...
Do you know how much effort I've put into getting that gala ticket? How many months of fake smiles and loathsome dinner parties? Only to have Mentor Alonso convert it all into time off to spend with you! So, please explain. What exactly are you sorry for?
That I made a mess of the interview.
I hope you realize what you've cost me. That gala was everything. Could you not have tried just a teeny bit harder to be Graham? The clues are all over the place.
Well, I tried.
I suppose you did at least get the bumbling idiot part right.
You don't seem too distraught about your husband.
Look, stranger. You told me your secret, so I'll tell you mine. Last few years, Graham gave up trying to be anything other than the dullard he really was.
If it weren't for the kudos for being married, I'd have dumped him months ago. You're new here, so a word of advice? You want to win in Union City? Learn the rules and play the game.
My name's Foster, by the way. Robert Foster.
Songbird.
Is there anything more you can tell me about Graham?
Not much. He was a loner whose only friends were idiots like him.
Who's this contact you mentioned?
Bad news, as far as my kudos level is concerned.
What do you mean?
Graham was always rambling on about this hacker friend of his. Had a daft name. Leet, I think.
Any idea where I could find Leet?
Probably somewhere up top, with the other degenerates. If I were you, I'd stay away.
Are you a collector?
What?
Toys. You have quite the collection.
Oh, yes. The whole set of cuddly kitties. Even the limited edition Mama Bear from 5 years back. Well, I did have the whole set, at least.
Did something happen?
Bartleby went missing, that's what. I asked Graham about it and he denied all knowledge. Then, when I tried to use the Mama Bear tracker to find dear Bartleby, he threw her across the room.
Clumsy.
Clumsy? Those bears were my engagement gift. He hid Bartleby just to spite me.
Graham had taken Songbird's toy Bilby, but I couldn't figure out what he'd have wanted with it. Wherever he'd gone, Graham clearly didn't want to be tracked. What's a Mama Bear tracker?
What do you think? It tracks her babies.
Her babies?
The cuddly kiddies. Most toys in Union City are tracker-enabled. Lost toys mean screaming babies, unless you got a tracker.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
That's all for now.
Yeah, bye.
It looked like Graham had taken Bartleby and didn't want it tracked. I had a hunch that he had taken it to Leet, but had no idea why. Jasmine. Carl Koala. The device was now on, but with the screen broken, I'd need to find another way to get at the data. I wondered why Graham had taken a children's toy.
Hello there. I'm Mama Bear.
Hi.
Mama Bear looks after all the cuddly kitties. Are you looking for one of my children?
I'm looking for Bartleby Bilby.
Don't worry, child. Look at my tummy to find your missing friend.
Plinth was showing the toy's tracking data. All I needed to do was locate the area code E1594. Find the tracker, find Leet. I had a lead, a map reference.
Welcome, Citizen Graham.
E1594.
Where
Graham
would you
had
like
put a
to
tracker
go?
there. Maybe it was the key to finding his hacker friend Leet. The piazza is the place for me.
It would be my pleasure, Citizen Graham.